everybody and welcome. I hope you're all doing well. In a few days I will be traveling to London and I thought it would be interesting to take you along with me and show you what I'm packing, because now that I've been sewing for a while and I have a pretty substantial handmade wardrobe, I have quite a bit of choice when it comes to packing for a short trip, and I thought it would be interesting to show you what I'm going to be wearing for a professional trip and then also show you a little bit of London while I'm there. Especially because I'm hoping to be able to go fabric shopping just a little bit if I have some time after work. But if you're new here, hello, my name is Sarah. On this channel I share mostly sewing projects, but a little bit of knitting and embroidery because I dabble in those as well. And I am originally from the US, but I live and work in France, and I have for a long time, and specifically I work in publishing. And I'm going to London for the London Book Fair, which happens every spring, every year, and like most European and Anglophone publishers, I will be going too. And so that's why it's something that I look forward to every year, because I always love going to London, and sometimes it coincides with when spring is just starting to bloom in London and it's just lovely, so I'm excited to bring you along with me. So I'll be leaving for about 3 days, 2 nights, and there are 3 main things that I'm keeping in mind as I'm hemming and hawing over my handmade wardrobe to figure out which pieces I want to bring along with me. And the first is weather. It's going to be pretty cool and blustery while I'm there. Not too much wind, but we are going to get some rain probably every day that I'm there, and so, but also some sun, so that's good. And so I do need to watch out for that because I will be doing a lot of walking. I do a lot of walking at the fair inside, but I also like to pick a hotel in the neighborhood so that I can walk to the fair, mostly because it's a nice neighborhood where the fair takes place every year. It's in Kensington, and I like walking around in that neighborhood, but then also because I do spend most of my time indoors at book fairs, and therefore it's kind of nice to get outside for a little while and not spend it underground in public transportation. And so yeah, I do like to walk. And also I have a bit of a shopping list of things that I'd like to pick up while I'm in London, so I'll be doing a lot of shopping after work and walking around to do that. And so yeah, I do need to think about mobility as well. That was the second point, is mobility. And then also for my professional meetings, the context of this visit, looking professional as well, which is, I mean, publishing is an artistic career, and therefore we're not expected, or at least in my company and what I see at book fairs in general, most people are not dressed very, very formally. It's business casual, and most of my wardrobe falls into that category, so it's not very difficult for me to do that. And with those main things in mind, here is exactly what I've picked out and what I'll be packing. So for the first day, I'm packing my Helen's Closet Elliot sweater in a taupe brown double knit fabric that I'm planning on pairing with my Seamwork Margot skirt in a chocolate brown double knit fabric. Both are super stretchy, soft, and warm, and great for looking polished while also staying comfortable and keeping a large range of motion, since I will be traveling that day and then doing lots of walking. For day 2, I will be mostly at the fair all day with meetings all day, and so I'm packing my Sew House 7 Tabor V-neck sweater in a white viscose double knit fabric that I just made this winter, with my True Bias Blair skirt in a dark green cool wool fabric. I just love these two together, and I've been wearing this skirt a lot since I finished this fall. For day 3, I'm packing my Vogue 8379 jersey wrap dress that I made in a black and white polka dot and slinky cotton jersey fabric. I love bringing this with me on work trips because it is really easy to pack. I can roll it up and pack it tightly, and it doesn't show too many wrinkles when I unpack it and wear it, and it's just comfortable and stretchy, and it still looks nice. And I'm going to wear this one with a ready-to-wear cardigan that I bought over 10 years ago and that I still love wearing today. It is about hip length, and it is in this buttery yellow color that is now back in fashion, and so I'm happy to wear it even more now. For sleeping in, I will be bringing my Sew Over It Edie top in a super soft light blue viscose jersey knit, and I'll be pairing that with my Helen's Closet Avery leggings in a dark gray bamboo jersey for ultimate softness and comfort. And then for relaxing and keeping warm at the hotel in the evenings, I'm going to be bringing my new Seamwork Callan sweater that I made with the bonus sleeves option in a gray wool blend sweater knit fabric to layer over my Edie top, and then also my Sew Over It Luna PJ pants in a blue and white checkered cotton flannel fabric that I'll be layering over my Avery leggings, also for warmth. And then of course my beloved Bella Loves Patterns traveler coat in this gray cashmere blend wool fabric, and a pair of brown ankle boots that will go with all of my outfits and save space in my luggage. And then the basics, camisoles, tights, socks, and especially a ready-to-wear half slip that I wear under most of my skirts and dresses and that is indispensable in my wardrobe. I also packed a cross-stitching project I've been working on for over a year now. It's going to be a bookmark in the William Morris Strawberry Thief design. I take great comfort in having a creative project with me when I'm away from home, especially for traveling alone, and this one is perfectly small, light, and portable for a short work trip. I also packed an unpicker instead of embroidery scissors so I don't cause alarm going through Eurostar security. And then for a little home comfort on trips away for work, I like to bring my favorite herbal teas, and this time I brought some chamomile tea and my favorite cinnamon tea. And then I was ready to go. So I have arrived in London and the trip went absolutely fine, very smoothly. It was pretty easy to get here. I've been coming to this hotel for a few years now, so I know my path, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Because I've been coming here for a few years, they know me a little bit better, and they very kindly said yes when I asked them if they would accept a package for me, because shipping from the UK is really, really expensive now, especially to France. There's international shipping, then customs and duties to pay, and so I like to do some shopping here while I'm here, and there are some things that I can't get in stores here, even though I do have usually an hour or two after work to walk around and do some shopping before they close. And the main one is Fabric Godmother. I love Fabric Godmother fabrics, and so that is what I chose to have sent here. And this is my package. It's already open because I already recorded this and the microphone wasn't on. So I folded it up for you and put it back in. But let me show you what I purchased. So it is possible to find striped linens in France, but it's very rare to find a stripe like this one, like not just solid color, but also small lines. And I thought that this one was just a beautiful color, just this gray, blue, and white. Not too much of contrast between the stripes. And then, I think that's the wrong side, yeah. The color's more vibrant on this side. And it just has such a beautiful drape and bounce to it. I think I'm gonna make an O's Patterns Kia skirt out of this. I've made it before in a much drapier, smooth fabric, but I think that in a linen, it would still look really lovely, and I especially want to play with the direction of the stripes. I think that because that skirt is more cut on the bias, it would sort of, yeah, it would hang even nicer. The drape would be even more beautiful, and I think that, something that would play with the stripes would be really, really pretty. And I have 2 meters of this, and it's just gorgeous. And then I bought another linen, and it's this. So it's this black and white gingham, and I think it's also a linen and viscose blend. I'll have to check. I'll put it below the fiber content of the two fabrics. And I already have a gingham fabric in black and white like this with similar shaped squares. I think that this one is a 1 centimeter check. But the fabric I have is 100% cotton, and it's like a quilting cotton. It's very tightly woven and it's very smooth. And so the drape and the effect is completely different. It doesn't have any bounce or drape. It just kind of, it's very good for pleats. It's very stiff. And this one is just, it's a little bit slubby. It's got texture. And I would like to recreate a skirt that I have been wearing for a long time. So in the very beginning of my sewing practice, I made a Silver Rosy skirt in a gingham fabric, and I don't really wear it anymore because it doesn't really suit my style personality anymore. I think it's too vintage, and even when I first made it, I would only wear it at home. I wouldn't wear it out or in public because it doesn't really correspond to my personal style. It's a little bit too vintage, and it's above the knee as well, and I prefer skirts that are below the knee now. So I would like to recreate something that I can wear in the summertime. In this linen, for example, I think I would probably be absolutely fine wearing it outside of the house. And I want to make the Silver Ruby skirt. It's a newer, free pattern of theirs, and it features buttons down the front and gathers, much like the Rosy skirt, but with buttons down the front. And then it has an elasticated panel in the back waistband to make it extra comfortable. And so it kind of reminds me of the République de Chiffon Annette skirt that I've made a few times. But yeah, it looks a little bit more casual and it looks beautiful. And so I want to make it out of this gingham. And I think in this linen fabric, this bouncy linen fabric, is going to be absolutely lovely, easy to work with other pieces in my wardrobe because this sort of gray and white and black, it goes really well with a lot of pieces. It's a sort of classic neutral, and I can't wait to wear it this summertime. And then the last two fabrics I bought are these two, and I can find jersey fabrics in Europe, but I can't find jersey fabrics with cashmere in it. And so that's why I snatched up these two fabrics. So I have it in this cool gray and then also this green, this sort of jewel toned green. And now that I feel it in my hands, it's super, super soft. How lovely. But it's too light for the cardigan that I thought I would make out of it. It's really slinky. You can see there. I might just make, this one I only got a meter, they only had a meter left, and I snatched up the last pieces of stock that they had. I might make a silver Edie top out of this, like an extra luxury version of the Edie top that I love so much. But this, maybe I'll make a Capelia cardi out of it. For example, the Paper Cut Patterns Capelia cardi, it would be just so gorgeous. But I'll have to think about that. But yeah, I'm really happy with these two and all of these fabrics. I will fold them up and put them away nicely. I have room in my luggage as well. But now I'm gonna head out before the sun goes down. It's about 4:15 now, and so the sun's gonna go down in about an hour. I do need to do some work before tomorrow and prepare for my meetings tomorrow, this evening, so I'm just gonna head out for a little while. I do have an order that I need to pick up, so I just became aware that there is a haberdashery called McCulloch and Wallace in central London, I think around Oxford Circus. And so I found something there that I've been looking for years. I didn't even know it existed. It's a thread card. So it's all the colors of the thread or brand of thread. I thought it only existed for Gutermann, but it exists for the kind of thread that I use too, which is Moon, which is the thread that my favorite haberdashery carries and is cheaper than Gutermann. And they have a thread, like a color thread card there. And so I ordered it to pick up. So I need to head there now and pick that up, probably take a look around. And it's not far from the Liberty Fabrics store as well. I've never been there before. Liberty Fabrics aren't really my thing, but I've never been, and they're beautiful quality, so I might go. And then, if you don't know, I love books, and I live in France, so most of the bookstores in France are full of French books, and I can read in French, but I do prefer to read in my native language. So when I get the chance to go to a bookstore with books full floor to ceiling of English, I'm just in heaven. So I'll probably go to a bookstore or two and then come back, have dinner, prepare my meetings for tomorrow and get to bed. But yeah, I'm gonna head out now and I'll take you with me. So I'm back now. I was able to have a nice hot shower and get in my PJs. I've got my slipper socks on, my Edie top underneath this sweater. It's nice and soft and everything's fine. And I picked up some dinner to eat here, calm, in the hotel. I do sometimes eat out alone when I'm traveling for work, but I do find that it takes a little bit more energy than just eating in, and I'll be eating out tomorrow with a friend. So I just wanted a calm night in so I could get the rest of my preparation for my meetings done and then get to bed because I am exhausted. I don't know why. I've just been really tired since this morning, and now I've got sort of like a tension. It's only 8:30, no, it's 7:30. That's 8:30 in France because there's an hour difference between the UK and France. But oh, so I will not be staying up late tonight. But before I have dinner and go to bed, let me show you what I got. So first I went to that haberdashery, McCulloch and Wallace, because I had something that I ordered and had set aside, and it is this. This is about to save me a lot of time. This is a sample card of the color range in the thread that I buy at my favorite haberdashery. And I knew that this existed for Gutermann, but I didn't know it existed for Moon. And Coats Moon is the kind of thread that I buy and that is sold at my favorite haberdashery. And it's a lot more affordable than Gutermann, for example. And it's polyester thread, it's all purpose. And ever since I moved to the suburbs of Paris, my haberdashery has been an hour away instead of 20 minutes away, or 15-ish. So sometimes when I'm missing a thread for a project, I have to either just suck it up and use another thread, or haul myself all the way across Paris to go get it. And now I'll be able to order it online. I just need to make sure that it matches up. I think it does, but I have a whole collection at home, so I can check it pretty easily. Yeah, and then I'll be able to order online and have it sent to me pretty easily, because I do have a haberdashery close to me, but it is extremely expensive, like €6 for a thing of thread, whereas where I go for my haberdashery, it's less than 2. So yeah, it's entirely worth hauling myself across Paris, but now I can get it sent to me. And then, while I was there, I saw that they had shoulder pads, and I'm currently working on the Bella Loves Patterns Grace Coat, and it calls for raglan shoulder pads. So shoulder pads in coat patterns are typically to provide a little bit of smoothing and not exactly, well, shaping, but it's not like the 80s shoulder pads. It's not supposed to make your shoulders look wider or bigger. It can, but this one's it's just to make sure that the wool or the fabric doesn't sag at the arm side or the sleeve head, and it to make that line smooth. So I did buy the video course offered by Bella for the sew-through of her pattern, and she does teach how to make this yourself by hand, and so I'll be watching that. So in the future I won't have to buy it, but I saw that they had them. It was £5, and I thought, oh, that'll save me some time on this massive project. And it's cool that they had raglan ones. I was having a hard time finding that online in France, or in France in general. I'm sure it exists, but I don't know where to find it. So yeah, and it's kind of cool. You can see how it looks like it was hand stitched together. It's got these stitches here and there, and yeah, it looks really cool. Anyway, so that'll help. And then I also got 2 books. The first one I found at the haberdashery, and I'm a sucker for beautiful nonfiction illustrated books like this one, especially craft books. These are the kinds of books that I work in. I sell books like these to foreign publishers to be translated into their languages. This one is originally published in English by Search Press, and we work with them to translate their books into French. So I probably could have gotten this book for free as a PDF if I asked nicely, but because that's one of the perks of working in the industry. But yeah, I just thought that the physical object of the book was really nice. I like these kind of books. And I just thought that the sashiko was really beautiful. And it's got projects and all kinds of points, and it just seems really approachable and lovely. I'm sure that the people at Search Press are happy that I'm talking about their book this way. I'm meeting with them tomorrow to try and sell them our books. It's just really nicely put together. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get to some of these projects. I'm not sure. Who's the author? Sashiko Nami. I think it said in the back that she is a Japanese artist living in Tokyo. Yeah. And it just looks really, really cool. So I do want to do more sashiko and put it to practical use. So this will be useful, I think. Or join my library at home of beautiful crafty books. And then I did make it to a bookstore. I made it to the Giant Waterstones that's by Piccadilly Circus. And there was a lot of selection, but I do read a lot by Kindle now, or by ebook, because I can get it for free from my library. So most of the books that I wanted to buy, I had already read. I read a lot, but I did find this one, and one book is pretty reasonable for me. I usually come home with at least 5 whenever I visit London, because I find that it's the cheapest and my favorite format of books that I can get in the US and France or in the UK. I prefer the ones in the UK because you have this paperback size. It's not the bigger size like it's sold in the US. It's usually for a pretty affordable price. This was £10 and this is relatively new. It's not even in my library yet. You probably couldn't find that for under $25 in the US, and it's published in paperback rather than hardcover right away for the first 2 to 3 years of the book's life. I'm pretty sure this is new. This was published 2024, yeah, so it's new. And I could find this in France, but it's at least 15 to 16 euros, and this is only £10, which translates to about 12, 13 euros, so haha. I will be looking for more and probably bringing home a lot more books, but I do really enjoy Irish literature. This is an Irish author and it takes place in Ireland, the story. I find that they often write about the interior life in a way that's really introspective, and I really enjoy that. I don't need a whole lot of plot. I don't need lots and lots of drama. I want to know what people are thinking and why. So I find that Irish authors typically, not always, but often explore that in their books. And so I've been reading a lot of Irish literature lately, and if you know any really good ones, let me know. And I'll see if I can try it out. But that's enough talking about books for now. I'm going to have dinner. I'm really hungry, I'm really tired, and then I'm gonna finish preparing my meetings for tomorrow and then probably get comfortable and start working on, or not start, but work on that cross-stitching bookmark that I've been working on, and indulge in my yearly tradition of watching season 2 of Bridgerton, only season 2, when I come to London. I think I watched it for maybe the first or second time when I was in London 3 or 4 years ago, and it's become a yearly tradition. It just makes me feel happy. And I try and save it for this occasion so I don't watch too often. But oh, it's my favorite season, and really the only season that I like of Bridgerton, and mostly because Jonathan Bailey is dreamy. I'll be doing that, and then going to bed. I'm exhausted. I am back from a day at the fair now. It is about a little after 5:30 in the evening, and I am heading out very, very soon to go have dinner with some friends. Yeah, the day was really good. I had lots and lots of meetings. I'm very, very tired. My feet hurt. But yeah, it was pretty cool, and I did manage to have some time after my last meeting to get to a bookstore. I went to Daunt and I picked up this book. I've been meaning to read. I really like this author, and I've been meaning to read this book for a while. I think it came out a few years ago, and so I'm excited to get into that. But I know this channel isn't about reading or books. I have debated doing a booktube channel as well, but then my life would be only YouTube and I would not be able to sew. It already takes up so much of my time. But so I'm gonna head out soon now. I'm just gonna relax here, get off my feet, have some digestive biscuits while I wait. Because I didn't have lunch today, I had just a granola bar. I had a pretty big breakfast, so it was okay. And the fair is just so busy. I did not have enough time. I had about half an hour between meetings to go have lunch, and I did not have the lines to buy lunch are about half an hour long. So that was, yeah, tough. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I had a big, well not big, but dinner last night, big breakfast this morning, so I'll be okay until this evening. And but tomorrow I have fewer appointments. A few people canceled, so I have fewer appointments than anticipated. So I'm thinking of going fabric shopping. I'm thinking of heading out to, if I get the chance, Kilburn to go check out Rainbow Fabrics in Kilburn, because I don't always find things there, but sometimes I find gems there, and it's very, very small, and there's an independent bookstore not far from it as well. So I think I'm going to, yeah, do that tomorrow. More adventures. I'll see you probably a little bit tonight when I get back as I'm winding down, maybe doing a little bit more embroidery. But yeah, so far it's been a little bit rainy, a little bit sunny, a little bit cloudy, but super, super cold. My ears are cold today, but I'm excited. Yeah, it's been a good trip so far, and I hope it's interesting for you too. So it is now the day after. I have gotten home and I'm rested and everything went well getting back. It's just long, as always, and heavy because I bought a few more books and a little bit more fabric, and I wanted to show you that now, the fabric that I bought at Rainbow Fabrics before I sign off and say goodbye. When I first walked in, I immediately saw they had some really gorgeous embroidered cottons, and let me show you this one first. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's got, so it's kind of like a broderie anglaise where it's got these little holes, but instead of a flowery design like you usually see, I'm not an expert on this kind of fabric, so maybe I don't have the right vocabulary or I don't know the different varieties, but this one seemed really cool, and I don't usually see geometric shapes when it comes to broderie anglaise or embroidered fabrics. These fabrics are all from Turkey, they told me as well. The salesperson who was there was very kind and answered all my questions with lots of patience. So it was a lovely experience going, and I highly encourage, if you're in London, to go visit Rainbow Fabrics. They're lovely, and they have often really great fabrics. And so yeah, I found this one, and I thought I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do with this white fabric, but I just absolutely love the details. Like, this is around the selvage, this detail here, and I'm thinking of there must be a way that I could use it even though it's going vertically this way. But yeah, so I was going to order just one, or was going to have him cut 1 meter of this, but as he was measuring it out, I just thought, oh, it's just so gorgeous. So I asked for 2 meters, and yeah, so I have 2 meters of that. I'm thinking of making a McCall's dress. I can't remember the number now, but I'll put it below, of that, the same. So I made it in a blue linen last year. This dress that's got sort of, not gathers, but elastic gathering the top, and it's a summer dress, and it's really light, and it's got a fabric belt, and it's buttoned down, and it's got a little flounce at the hem, and it's very feminine, very lovely, and I thought that this would be really nice. So maybe that one, but otherwise, yeah, some kind of summer dress, I think, with perhaps a belt or some kind of detail to sort of break up the white. But I love wearing white in the summertime, so I'm sure I'll find some use for this. And then I also got this black embroidered fabric. It's also geometrically shaped, but there's no holes in the fabric. And it's a bit thicker because the embroidery adds weight to it. And look at how beautiful that is. Oh. And so I have 2 meters of this as well. I got the last of the roll, and there was about ½ meter left on the roll. It was a little bit damaged. You can see it's been stitched back together here. And so they offered the extra ½ meter to me for free, which was very, very kind. And yeah, it's got this beautiful drape to it. Kind of heavy. I was thinking of making a skirt, but I'm not sure, and I did promise to use every single bit of this fabric because it's the last of it, and and it's beautiful. I'm not entirely sure what to make with it yet. Let me know what you think I should make, or what you would make with this fabric. Probably something for the spring or summer. Even though it's black, I think that sometimes black can be really, really beautiful in the summer sun, even though it attracts heat. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. Both of these were 9 pounds a meter, and absolutely gorgeous. So I got those two, and then I got one more, which definitely didn't help my back getting everything back home. But I got this viscose. I saw it, and I just thought it was gorgeous. It's not the kind of colors that I usually go for, at least, well, kind of. So it's on a navy blue background, this green and mauve and sort of bright pinkish orange, and I just love it. And I love how it's sort of in a vine pattern. It goes this way, let's see. Yeah, it's got this like vertical falling vine, and I just thought it was lovely. I really, really love this fabric. It's got a really nice drape. It's 100% viscose, but it's not too wrinkly. Yeah, it doesn't wrinkle at all, so it's going to be great for something that I'm sitting in. So I'm thinking of making a Helen's Closet Donovan skirt out of this. This one too, there was a little bit extra that they gave me because at one of the ends, yes, there was this at one of the ends, so there must have been some damaged fabric, and it's just basted together here. And so I got this piece for free. I might make some bias tape out of that. But anyway, I had a lovely experience there. They have some great quality fabric, and I can't wait to make these. I also made some progress on my embroidery project throughout the stay, but mostly on the train back because the first night, or the second night after the fair when I went out to eat with friends, that was a lovely night, but I got back exhausted and I just went straight to bed. That's why there's no footage. But this is the progress that I made. So you see I finished most of the embroidery down at the bottom here, and then I just need to finish up in the top, this main flower here. And then I'll be finished with the embroidery part. I also need to learn how to make French knots for the eyes, for the bird's eyes. But then I'll be able to make the bookmark out of it and yeah, use it as a bookmark. So all in all, I'm glad that I brought this smaller project to London with me because I did, on the train there, I left it in my suitcase and that was a mistake. I felt the need to do something with my hands on the train there, but that's all right. And yeah, all in all, it was a great trip. I had much success finding fabric and books. I found 2 books also that I haven't showed you yet. I'll just show you very, very quickly. So near to Rainbow Fabrics, there is Queen's Park Books, if I can speak. It's an independent bookstore not far from Rainbow Fabrics, and now I like to go there every time I go to Rainbow Fabrics, and I found this. So this is my absolute favorite book by Kazuo Ishiguro. He's an English, or Japanese and English author, and I absolutely love his books, but this one's my absolute favorite. I read it for the first time about 15 years ago, and it haunts me to this day. It's not a light read at all, but I saw Faber and Faber just did this re-edition or new edition with the cover and the hardback. It's even sewn here. It's great quality. And I love this format. It's not a hardcover in the American size where it's just gigantic and you can't fit it in your purse, but it's really well printed and it is signed by the author. How special is that? Oh, I'll have to read it again. Oh man, and then I found this. I made it to another Waterstones and I found this book and it looked intriguing. And I had a lovely conversation with the cashier at the till. He told me that he had just read this book and he really liked it. And he's excited for me to read it. And then he said if I liked it, there's a Japanese book coming out in English soon in April. I think it's something about 2 souls under 1 moon or something like that in the title. And he said that if I liked this one, I would love that one too. So I'm excited to read this. I love the cover. Look at how beautiful that cover is. Anyway, I'll stop talking about books with you. I get kind of geeky when I go to London and I have access to so many bookstores and books in English at an affordable price. Especially when I go for the London Book Fair. I just get to geek out for 3 days, basically. So that is everything I purchased that I hadn't shown you yet. All of the fabric and books. And yeah, I hope that this was interesting for you. I hope that the capsule handmade wardrobe that I showed you as well perhaps give you ideas for your spring or short sort of 3-day trips to a city, especially one where it's sort of blustery and rainy and windy and also sunny sometimes, and or traveling for work, you know, all kinds of things. These are a lot of clothes that I wear often, either to work or traveling. So especially the polka dot wrap dress, I wear that all the time, especially when I'm traveling because it doesn't show wrinkles and it's really easy to just bunch up and shove in my suitcase and look good after. And so, yeah, I hope that this gave you ideas, that you enjoyed following me to London, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you're all well, and yeah, take care. Bye-bye.